And we're back. I don't know what to tell you. With the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford. At least the Dodgers had a good day. So you Dodgers fans out there, like us, like me, having a good day when it comes to theirs. The Lakers. It's the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here with the Lakers Fast Break, the pop culture cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm going to be dropping the latest PCC multiverse here for the pop culture cosmos. That'll be on YouTube. It'll be for our members on YouTube for the Lakers Fast Break on the Pop Culture Cosmos, and also for audio members for their morning drive on Friday, where TJ Johnson talks about his best and worst of pop culture in 2025 and his most anticipated for what's upcoming this year. We had a great discussion, so hopefully you will go ahead and check it out. It's the Pop Culture Cosmos channel. Go ahead and check it out wherever you get your podcasts. Also, as well, I want to give some love to Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. I think he said something on Joe's channel like he was going to have a drink. Well, I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a drink after that last Lakers game we just had right now. So go ahead, help out Drip Show. Follow him at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. You see behind me LeBron and Luka, who are probably hitting a wall or something right now in the locker room. Look at the nice canvas art that's there. Look at the nice canvas art. That's all by Drip Show. Also, as well, of course, Kobe and GG right here for the best in great sports and pop culture products. Go ahead and reach out to at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Uh, Lino Pena, hola. ¿Cómo está? Hopefully all is well with you, my friend. I know you're talking Spanish right there in our chat. And Luca and LeBron, yeah, I know. It's probably not going to be something good, is what you're saying. And I don't blame you a bit. So, but it's great to have you here. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for listening. The Lakers tonight had a game. I think they thought they were going to go ahead and take home really easily tonight because it was against the Charlotte Hornets, a team that's struggling, but with some impressive wins. Even in their season to date, they've had some impressive wins. They went on the road and beat Oklahoma City. They just beat Utah by 55 on the weekend. So this was a team that should not have been underestimated, especially with a team like the Lakers, who have been struggling, to say the least, over the past month, as far as trying to keep everybody in front of them on the defensive side and making their shots from the outside on the offensive side. But the Lakers today decided to go ahead and, after the first quarter, where they got off to a nice lead, and so did Luka with, I believe, 19 points in the first quarter. He actually really poured it on in that first quarter as the Lakers led 39-30. But after that, it went downhill. It went downhill pretty fast as the Lakers got outscored in the second and third quarter, 74-54. Let me just put that to you guys again. 74-54 in the second and third quarters. Lakers tried to get it close. I think they got it close to 6 in that fourth quarter, but a hot shooting team as LaMelo Ball absolutely killed the Lakers tonight. Could not miss seemingly from 3. Well, he did miss a few, but it was still a very good game by him. Miles Bridges, 5 of 7 from 3, 25 points for him. Brandon Miller, 26 points from him. LaMelo Ball, 30 points, 11 assists from him. And Com Knipple, who, if Cooper Flagg stays out for an extended period of time, may take over the lead in the Rookie of the Year voting. 19 points for him. They absolutely tore apart the Lakers defense. Didn't matter who was there, as far as if it was a defender like LeBron or Luka, or if it was a defender like Ayton, Marcus Smart, or Jared Vanderbilt. They dusted all of them. And not even Kobe Buffkin coming in for an extended period of time could help matters because the Lakers just absolutely could not put up anything today. But as DBSH, yo, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, go ahead and like and subscribe to his channel. Disgusting loss, yo, but at least we got Kyle Tucker. And for Dodgers fans, they did. But if you're a Lakers fan, you are not a happy camper with another putrid performance. You thought the Sacramento showcase was bad. This wasn't any better as the Lakers got lambasted by the Charlotte Hornets. Well, let me just go ahead and let that seep in. Let that seep in. Let that resonate because it's painful for us Lakers fans. The Charlotte Hornets decimated the Los Angeles Lakers 135 to 117. Thank goodness, though, for the Lakers in the battle for just above mediocrity in the Western Conference, aka fifth place in the Western Conference. They still stay there because Houston and Phoenix both lost tonight. So the Lakers, I believe, stay in fifth place in the Western Conference, 24 and 15 on the season, but they fall even further behind the OKC Thunder. So I think the fact that the Lakers are now, I believe, 9.5 games out of first place in the Western Conference, I think we could just go ahead and put that to bed at this point in time. Appreciate, by the way, DBSH, your super chat. Really, really, truly appreciate it. But yeah, just terrible defense tonight. Gabe Vincent was absolutely abysmal as far as coming off the bench and really giving the Lakers nothing offensively or defensively tonight. He was really a sore spot for the team. I think they tried to attack him several times on the defensive end. But yeah, no matter who the Lakers put in front of them, whether it was a Gabe Vincent, whether it was a Rui Hashimura, whether it was a Jared Vanderbilt, whether it was a Kobe Buffkin, whether it was a, a Jake LaRavia, whether it was a Luka Doncic or a Marcus Smart, it really wasn't enough to go ahead and defend it all. I do want to mention that Luka Doncic did score, and oh, by the way, 39 points, 6-11 from three. Not great for the free throw line, 3 of 7. Ouch. That's really not that great at all. As the Lakers just got roasted from three. They 37% from them, but they gave up 47% from three for the Charlotte Hornets. In fact, the Charlotte Hornets were 50-40-90 tonight, guys. Let me put this to you again. If you want to talk about the Lakers D and how bad it was, 50, 40, and 90 is what the Charlotte Hornets shot. They shot 54% from the field, 47% from three, 94% for the free throw line, and they cooked the Lakers after the second quarter, or from the second quarter on, actually, 135 to 117. Again, the Lakers are 24 and 15 on the season. Let me hear your thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and check out some of your thoughts right now. Again, the Lakers are fifth place in the Western Conference, 9.5 games back. Thank goodness Houston and also as well Phoenix lost. So JJ says, didn't they smack us at home last season? Yeah, they did, I believe, if you are correct. JY says Lakers suck, but we got Luka. That's all I hear. I know. If you're not seeing the results, Joe's, when he's on here, he'll tell you he's in the results business. And right now, the results aren't really good right now with what we're seeing. But again, a lot of us at the beginning of the season picked the Lakers 4th, 5th, or 6th in the Western Conference, and it's pretty much what you got. And speaking of Joe, it is a good man indeed. He is the mastermind behind Simblades, Simblades with a Y.com for your synthetic turf needs in the California area. Plus, also as well, he is the host of the Joe Soro Experiment. And if you want to see Joe with the biggest smile on his face, check it out because he and Empire Jeff were smiling for quite a bit because, the Dodgers, they did sign Kyle Tucker and they might have just signed themselves on for a three-peat, although they were pretty damn good before that. But it's always nice to have a little bit of youth, speed, and versatility added to the lineup indeed. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe, great to have you here. Absolutely abysmal loss. I think you and I could have gone on the Lakers tonight and scored repeatedly, but they didn't need to because they bombed away from three. Between LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Com Knipple, They were just smoking the Lakers. And when Brandon Miller, he didn't hit much on the outside. He just took it inside with ease on the Lakers defenders as well.
Yes, I was in and out the first half. They did pretty well in the first quarter. They were they were on their way, but it still didn't feel good. Again, I didn't get a chance to really focus too much because I was doing the show after the Kyle Tucker signing. But that second quarter was what lost it for them. They only scored 16 points in that quarter, and they looked like a team that, from the little that I saw, they looked like they didn't want to play today. And then they came out in the second half and essentially said, "Oh shit, we need to kind of get back to what we were doing in the first quarter," which they did. The only problem is they kept playing defense like they've been playing all year.
Yeah. I mean, 805 in the super chat says Nico was right about Luka's defense. It was bad, but it was a whole badness. I mean, not just Luka, but when they were out on the perimeter, guys like Ayton couldn't defend anyone out there. When even in the key, Ayton couldn't defend anyone out there. Laravia couldn't defend anyone out there. I saw people driving with ease. Comp Knipple driving with ease on Jared Vanderbilt. And Gabe Vincent, don't get me started on Gabe Vincent because it looked like the, Gulliver's Island with the, him as the giant and the Lilliputians with the, with the size difference that Gabe Vincent was on. Anybody who Gabe Vincent was guarding was just at he was just at a sheer size difference, and they just shot right over him with ease. It was just Marcus Smart trying to do this wave in the side type deal as far as what they're teach you to do so you don't get the foul. That did nothing. That did nothing to deter LaMelo Ball from bombing threes on him. They were just bad, Joe. And when you give up 50, 40, 90 to the other team, you might as well call it a day.
There was a play that was indicative of the entire game that I noticed there in the beginning part, I think, of the fourth quarter. Kalkbrenner was under the rim. The Lakers got the rebound, but if you watched DeAndre Ayton box out, it looked like this is the number one pick in the NBA draft who's 7 feet tall, who has talent. And it was a reminder of kind of I had to explain on Lakers ball a few weeks ago on why I don't like Max Christie, right? And I had put this 4 or 5 paragraph thing because someone was interested in seeing, because I just said, "Oh, he blows," right? It's a forum. I'm not there to write novels. We comment, we exchange information, we have an opinion, we laugh. That's essentially what this is for. But I had to explain in detail the problems of that particular player. And what it comes down to is this player engaged in playing consistent basketball game in and game out? Because people get mesmerized by, "Oh, he's nice. Oh, he looks innocent." I go, for those who don't buy into that, and I feel pretty good about my assessment with him because I have someone like Stone Hansen on one side who literally has watched thousands of film that any of us would fall asleep watching after about 10 minutes, right? And when you look at DeAndre Ayton, it's worse with DeAndre Ayton because this guy is the first pick in the NBA draft. He isn't an injured Greg Oden. He isn't an injured Brandon Roy. He isn't an injured anyone. This guy's pretty healthy and still young, yet he plays with no competitive drive. That particular play was him. I don't even know what he was doing. Was he passing gas? I don't know what the hell he was doing. I can't explain it. But if you watch the fourth quarter, if some of you have a DVR, go back and just follow a particular miss. I think it was the beginning of the fourth quarter where the Lakers got the rebound, but the way DeAndre Ayton didn't box out, and it just the ball just happened to bounce the Lakers' way. But still, it's just one of those things where this team is just not, and you guys got to get out of this blame business. It's in the moment business. It's not just, well, we got to blame Gabe Vincent. We got to blame this. We got to blame that. It's bigger than the blame at this point, because you can't blame the team for picking up DeAndre Ayton for free. You can't blame them for picking up Marcus Smart for free. Practically, basically. The problem with this team, and the blame, if you want to put blame, is it's been there. It's festered already. It's not going anywhere until it's gutted out. You can blame Luka's defense. You can blame his free throw percentage. You can blame LeBron for the measles epidemic. I don't care what you do there in terms of running out of ideas. Okay, it's not a team that was structured correctly. It's just not. Yes, blame Jeannie, blame Rob for the construction. Yeah, obviously. But I'm not looking at it from today's issue. And maybe it's because I'm looking ahead. Maybe I'm looking ahead, and I see a bright future coming. Because if you pay attention to those who, let's look at a Steven Spielberg type director or a Christopher Nolan, right? These guys are not perfect, but they're damn near close, right? And they're really good at getting talent to create what they want to create, and they've been doing this for decades. Well, folks, Kyle Tucker chose the Dodgers like many of these players have chosen. And like my good friend said numerous times, Empire Jeff, about how the Dodgers sit around and they just kind of do this. And they're like, all right, you finished? Did you get it done? No. And then they'll pounce. Kyle Tucker should have been a Blue Jay. I don't know if anybody wants to go play in Queens. I guess he could have played for $50 million. But I was really thinking, if the Blue Jays were really wanting to get back to the World Series, they need not only to keep the guy that's a homegrown guy, but they got to get another guy. But that's me. I might be wrong. You know, I don't watch these guys' finances, but I'm just saying, why is it that the team that's been winning is still upping the ante? They keep putting more in the pot. Why? Because they want to crush you. Now, what does that mean for the Lakers? Well, it correlates, because the man who's in charge of what we saw today and what we've been seeing now for a few years now in Dodgerland is, we're going to have that guy now doing what he did and what he's doing with the Dodgers with the Lakers. Now, we know they're different systems. We know that they can't just go spend whatever they want. But that's not the point. There's no salary cap in terms of talent behind the scenes. There's no salary cap in terms of the coach. There's no salary cap in terms of any kind of high-end GM that they're going to bring in, or a player personnel. And if the money thing is on your mind, folks, they're going to be out about $100 million in terms of the cap by the end of the year. So by the end of the year, they're going to have a lot of flexibility now to go do and build what they want. And they're going to get more draft picks, and they're going to have a draft pick in this next draft. So I'm still watching these games. I'm still invested in it as much as I can be. But there's an end coming. It's coming. And the Rich Pauls, the Rich Pauls of the world are, what they are doing is they're creating controversy. They're just like most of these skanks on social media or any of these hacks on social media. When you create drama, you get the hits because he's not talented enough to do it correctly. If you do it correctly, if you do it with some talent, if you do it with some kind of information that's valuable that only you can articulate versus somebody else that can't, right? Or anybody else. He doesn't do that because he needs to create the controversy to get the ears, and he does because a lot of you guys are moths to the flame. All you got to say is a couple trigger words, boom, you get them, and then all of a sudden you start talking about it on a show on social media, like I am right now, and here we are. However, 3 more months from now, this is not going to be a discussion anymore. It's going to be focused on building the next Laker dynasty. And it's going to be Luka and then maybe a couple guys from this roster. And then it's going to be what's next.
Once again, it is the Lakers losing tonight, 135-117. They're 24-15, fifth place in the Western Conference, 9.5 games back of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Joe, I'm in just, in your expose right there. I don't think you were looking at the chat, and I don't think you want to, because if you want to go ahead and get a headache, that's the way to do it.
What, are they criticizing Luka? Are they mad about the trade now?
They're suggesting Bronny. They're suggesting Bronny Hard. I think the one that I like, I won't bring this person's name up because I don't want to have you yell at them specifically. But that Bronny is everything Gabe is not. He's a project, but can definitely elevate to a 20-point per game type of player. So hold on that thought. Hold on that thought right there. Don't throw up. Please don't throw up. He was not throwing up with the cup, by the way, guys. Tonight, Luka and LeBron don't get a pass. Yes, Luka scored 39. Yes, LeBron scored 29. But they don't get a pass because their effort was bad on the defensive end. I get it. But the primary defenders on the guys that were making the most points was not Luka. It was not LeBron. It was guys like Marcus Smart, Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, DeAndre Ayton. And they were scoring at ease on these guys. Jake LaRavia as well. Also, to a lesser extent, Kobe Buffkin. These guys were getting roasted. Absolutely roasted. Kobe Buffkin actually did play some hard up defense, didn't give up too much. But these other guys, they did. They got roasted repeatedly. I don't know what game you guys were watching, but you certainly weren't watching this one. Yes, LeBron and Luka both get Fs for not be more effective on the defensive end. I get it. I'm with you on that. But it is your main defenders, Joe. When your main defenders are getting roasted repeatedly on defense, you don't deserve to win games like this, Joe, against a really poor team that surprises once in a while. But you look at their record, Joe, you should be winning this team at home.
Yeah, the should word is an interesting word for this team. They should be better than they are. They've won more games than we thought they would. They had a good road. They still have a good road record. And back to the Luka thing, I don't know if most of the people paid attention to the last couple years. Would you say our defense has been struggling the last couple years beyond this year?
It wasn't going in the right direction, even with AD. AD was having to make up for a lot of things in our defense, but you could see it reflective in the numbers. It wasn't heading in the right direction, but this has gone into the deep end. And I know there's some people still calling for, I know 805 is, thank you again for the super chat. 805 is calling for, a return once again for the AD and Christie to be on this team and Luka to not.
Do you know do you all know that Anthony Davis is likely out for the year?
That's what I said.
What delusion are you guys allowing yourselves to be in? Do you have a fucking clue about how lucky the Lakers got getting rid of Anthony Davis when they did? Do you have a fucking clue? Imagine this. I'm going to make it real easy for everyone. If it was AD and Max here still, it would be LeBron and Max Christie. That's the lineup you'd have with the rest of these guys.
And I'll say one further, Joe.
Minus Kleber, of course, which is you might as well be invisible at this point.
That's true. And I'll say one more on it. Because remember when AD signed his extension, Joe? He had another year. He had an option to wait a year for more money, but he signed right away when he had the opportunity to. Why? Because he knows his body better than anyone else, and he knows exactly how fragile he is. And right now, he's not nicknamed Street Clothes for nothing. He is out. He's out possibly for the rest of the year. So, or at least the next 6 weeks before they reevaluate.
I'm going to have this conversation. I'm done with this Luka AD conversation.
And then you guys tell me Bronny, a guy who is just so bad. What games are you watching?
They're not thinking. It's just
Calling
reaction.
A future 20-point game player? That's insane.
It's reaction. I'm gonna attribute it to this. It's like when somebody had a bad day at work and they take it out on their family members. You know, as much of a psychopath as I can come off as, I'd like to think I'm probably closer to a sociopath because I can do things without showing too much craziness. But anyways, I've never, no matter how upset I am at something, ever taken it out on people around me that I care about. And it's the only comparison I can put it at because you're not thinking. This is not working. Stop talking about Anthony Davis. You didn't trade Anthony Davis from 2018, okay? You didn't trade that guy.
Or 2020. You didn't trade him
you
for the one.
You didn't trade any of those years. You didn't even trade AD in 2023, okay? He was pretty damn good in 2023. And remember this, AD was getting worked by every big last year. I remember that because you know why? Because I saw the games. And I love AD, and I still love AD. Still will always love AD. AD just has that personality that I've always clicked with. I don't know why. Yes, I know he's not a killer. He doesn't want to go the extra mile, but the guy, when he was on, it was as beautiful basketball player to watch as I've seen in my life. That he had a game that I loved, and I'm still mesmerized by 2020 and the way he played in that season. So you guys got to wake up and really I hate to bring this up, but it was something I saw today. There was a senator talking to a doctor asking her if men get pregnant, and she didn't answer the question. You guys are like that right now. Like, wake up. Anthony Davis is likely out for the entire year. And if you think there's some invisible halo that would have kept him from not getting hurt this year in a Laker uniform, well, you really need to go get a psychiatrist or get some help from your doctor. Stop talking about Anthony Davis and stop talking about Max Christie. For the love of God, it is a problem that is going to get solved. You have to wait. This was unfortunately not any of our faults. This is the system these morons put together the last 15 years. Now it's 20 years, actually. Since 2005, the CBA has been a shit stain in my book. After the 2005 collective bargaining agreement, the NBA CBA has gotten worse every freaking time they renegotiate. 2005, 2011. This last one was horrendous. They let go of Alex Caruso because they were in, this is before the aprons, obviously, but if they had signed Alex, they would have paid double then they would have paid double what they would have obviously paid him. That was a bad decision by going with THT versus him, because THT was 7 years younger and they thought he had promise, and it was a bad move.
Those long arms, Joe.
Yeah.
That's all we heard about.
Long arms can't fix this, guys. Desire. So we talk about DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton is showcasing why he was a 26-year-old starting center in a league where there's very few of those guys that's capable physically, but mentally, he is never going to be what you want him to be. So, in a way, it's a good thing. It's one less guy that the Lakers have to deal with in the offseason, right? He's going to opt out. He hasn't opted out at the end of the year. He's going to want to opt out and get a longer-term deal. Marcus Smart, likely going downhill. Gabe Vincent, one of the worst free agent pickups the Lakers have had in the last decade, without a doubt, maybe the top three. LeBron's going to be off the books. His son will be jettisoned somewhere eventually. Huh?
Is Vincent worse than Kendrick Nunn? Both
from Miami? No. Kendrick Nunn was probably number 2. It's just not. I can't keep doing this every other day. It's who they are.
And I get worried about you, Chad. I get worried about you. I mean, I understand you're reaching for anything. And believe me, trust me, I get messages from all points of the world, all the times of the day about, oh, they need to do this, they need to do that, they need to trade for this, they need to trade for that. And you got some of the stuff I get is just absolutely just wacko. It's like Laker Tom looks almost normal in comparison sometimes and stuff I get. But when you guys go ahead and talk about Bronny in that light, like he's some sort of savior, he has been on the Lakers team for a year and how many games now? Wouldn't have something shown up right now by now about his game, his talent at the NBA level? They've given him opportunities and it's not stuck. They send him to the G League, and for every 20-point game he has terrible ones to double it. He's just not an NBA level player. He's an NBA player because by contract saying he's an NBA player. So technically he is an NBA player, but Joe, he is not someone that is going to come in and save the day. He is a 6 foot, guys, not 6'2", not 6'3", what they list him. He looks like he's a 6 foot guard that just can't shoot. And that's something that the Lakers do not need out there right now. That just makes things worse, and that just makes your guys' like headache that much bigger.
So Luka, when he retires, equals 0 rings according to 805 Chargers.
Don't be too hard on 805. Love 805. He's been with us for a long time.
Yeah. I'm going to screenshot this so that I put it in my little folder, my little Lakers Fast Break folder. So,
please do so for all the trash that people talk about.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody drop 39 in a game and get roasted criticized. Like if it wasn't for Luka, this game would have been a blowout for 60. Everybody wants Luka to be the ball handler, the guy that doesn't turn the ball over, gets to the basket, makes every shot, plays defense. Why don't you just have him run a marathon while he plays basketball? I mean, these problems were here before he came here. Did you just start watching the Lakers this year?
What do you
or are you listening to the noise? See, I know what it is.
No,
it's
they're
the
not.
moths to the flame.
Look at this. No. We roast Luka better than anyone else when he's and again, I told you, I said, King, today that the defense is this bad, it's on everybody, including Luka and LeBron. And today was terrible from the free throw line. I said that earlier. You've got to clue in, but don't tell me we're nicer about Luka when it comes to everybody else. We call it like we see it.
My question is, you're criticizing a guy that wasn't here when these problems were still here.
Yeah.
So if other Laker channels are doing that, what does that say about their interpretation skills? You tell me. These problems were here. Problems with Rob, problems with Jeannie, problems with the roster, problems with Gabe Vincent, problems with Vando. These were here before Luka got here. Explain that to me. Explain it. How is it Luka's fault that you have a guy like Kobe Buffkin, okay? Kobe Buffkin taking a contested three with 20 seconds, 18 seconds left in the shot clock in a game where every basket matters, every possession matters because you put yourself in a hole. Whose fault is that? I guess Luka could be that guy that plays the leader, right? Can he? Without completely collapsing all these soft egos? You tell me. And then everybody's going to say Luka's mean because you're a soft generation. Every generation gets softer than cotton balls in a toilet. So what? What do you want Luka Doncic to do? You want him to turn into Gary Payton? Good luck. It ain't going to happen. You want him to play really, really well where he's in championship contention with Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, Kobe Buffkin. Some of you guys think Bronny James is an NBA player? Are you out of your fucking mind? You want a 50-year-old who's making $52 million to be the difference, no matter how amazing he is in his 23rd season? Yeah, from an individual standpoint, he is a marvel. But he hasn't helped this team win, guys, since he's come back. When you look at the net rating in terms of the team, in terms of winning, when it's him and Luka, it's in the negative. When it's him and Reeves, it's in the negative. When it's Luka and Reeves, it's in the positive. What does that tell you, guys? I'll tell you what it tells you. This is a young man's game. It's a young man's game. So I'm going to keep saying it. The LeBron era will be over in 3 months. The trash that's on the roster right now, at least 80% of it will be gone. Marcus Smart will be gone. DeAndre Ayton will be gone. The only one that out of the group is going to still be here, unfortunately, is Vanderbilt. But they're all going to be gone. Kleber's going to be gone. I'm not going to say LeBron is trash. He's not. But his $52 million is going to be off the books. So you got to clean the house. You can't. It's got to get gutted out, okay? The place is condemned. You can keep putting drywall up and putting new paint. The mold's still there. You got to condemn it. Start over. And Luka's going to be the main cog in this. So sit down, relax, stop bitching and whining about Anthony fucking Davis. For God's sakes, help me with your intelligence with that one. Enough of the trades. This team doesn't have any assets to fucking trade anything. If you're looking at the Trae Young trade to Washington as a template, just think about the two teams that made that trade and then get back to me. The Atlanta Hawks won a championship when they were in St. Louis in 1958. Since then, they have been as relevant as the Arizona Cardinals. And then the Washington Wizards, they should go back to being called the Bullets, because since they've been the Wizards, they should just call them the Washington Browns, because they are the Cleveland Browns of the NBA to me. Or not to me, it's just in general, just in terms of their usefulness in terms of winning.
But again, Joe, we talked about Luka and LeBron. Again, I'm not going to sit here and defend their defense. And I know Mark says, well, if Austin Reeves here would have changed some things, I think it would have changed as far as offensively. Yeah, they probably would have scored more than 117. But their defense does not get any better with him, because his defense this year has been just as bad. They need guys who can contest and actually slow down these guys when they're on a heater. Guys like Ball, guys like Knipple, guys like Bridges, who were scoring from distance at will, Joe. At will. They need to find guys that will slow them down. And like you said, with the not a myriad of assets outside of expiring contracts, they don't really have much in the way to do so right now to slow that down. And now that the Lakers are about 9.5 games, they're almost into double digits behind OKC. It's now about just settling into a fourth or fifth spot in the Western Conference.
This isn't really a Laker problem. This is a league problem in general. We talk more about injuries than we talk about players playing, to be honest with you. I mean, how many times did I hear, is LeBron hurt? Oh, is it Rui? Is he still hurt? Is he available? Luka goes to the locker room, what, once a game? I think he's playing hurt.
And that didn't help for their bench. Again, the Lakers have the worst bench production in the league right now, and only 9 points coming off your bench tonight. That isn't going to cut it either.
Yeah, it's not. I don't have an answer for anybody here now. It's just not. It's not there. The entire. You're talking about Gabe Vincent, who played 15 minutes, gave you 0 points. Kobe Buffkin, 17 minutes, 0 points. Rui Hachimura comes back, plays 18 minutes. He gives you only 3 points. Might as well just send that guy to the glue factory at this point. There's always some reason why these guys stink, and it's always geared towards, okay, it's Luka's fault. Okay, it's LeBron's fault. Okay, it's Rui's fault. Okay, it's this. It's not just that. It's a team issue. It's the coaching sucks. The front office sucks. The team as a collective sucks together because it's not a good team. It doesn't. 90% of these players don't benefit each other's game in any way. You have a guy like Rui Hachimura who can hit 45% from three, yet they can't devise a consistent offensive play to get that guy any room to shoot. How does that make any sense? And then you want to have LeBron go to the basket every other time. Those days are over. He's 41. He'll run out of gas if he keeps doing that. And they know these teams are not stupid. They know, hey, just pack Luka 100%. Let him shoot over 1 or 2, 3 people. Let him have his points. Everybody else is going to suck. It's an easy setup. No one fears the Lakers. The team has no fear-inducing anything.
It's just a shame. By the way, John Costa couldn't make it here tonight. He's probably going to be out the next couple games, but he sends his love to Black and Ihama. Black is here tonight. He missed you on the last game. And Black, I was supposed to say some things he said, but I try to stay as the clean one on this show, so I'll refrain from that. But let's just say a whole bunch of dirty words I was supposed to convey to you if you were here tonight. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It is Gerald Glassford along with Joe Soro of the Joe Soro Experiment. Hear his thoughts in detail on the Dodgers signing Kyle Tucker with Empire Jeff earlier tonight on the Joe Soro Experiment channel. By the way, I was trying to do what I can to. There's like one certain troll kept on changing his profile. I was to make sure I didn't even know I was a mod on that. Thank you for making a mod, so I was able to block that for you. But Joe, tonight again, we're seeing points. These are the things we talked about from the very beginning of this season. These were the things that we talked about from the very beginning. And you and I went back and forth all summer because I thought they should have done more to build around Luka, and they went a route where they're going to save money and they're looking forward to what's upcoming in 26 and 27 in the offseason. And I said they needed to build around Luka and don't waste a moment now and every year that Luka's available. Now, at this point, it is what it is. And unless teams want a fire sale for expiring contracts, the Lakers just are not going to get substantially better this season.
Hey, yeah, today's been an interesting day in terms of everything all at once. Watching people melt down because the Dodgers are getting anything and everything they want, and just the overall confusion on a a particular situation that's been obvious for a very long time.
Yeah.
What we should have talked about tonight is focusing on. We need to focus on what players between, and really this is, we need to discuss what they can do and what's realistic in terms of, let's say, after February. What is it that they have to do? I don't know. I guess I'm asking the crowd to send something different than let's blame Luka, let's blame everything, blame. Well, if you're going to complain and blame things, can you bring a solution? Why would I do that? I don't go to, this is not a personal thing. If I saw Rob Pelinka in public, I would walk right by him. I don't do that stupid shit. And people who bother celebrities, those guys should get caned in the face. Okay? You don't mess with people off the books, okay? That's not how it works. People who throw trash at the quarterback's lawn for throwing the interception, you guys are pieces of filth. You deserve to be in the gutter there. My thing is, we are more than halfway through this debacle ending. And the debacle has been there for a while. If we want to talk about strategy, if we want to talk about what we think will help this year, next week, tomorrow, whatever, yeah, I'm willing to listen. But you guys are not setting up the table a lot with anything relevant. And maybe that might not be your fault. Maybe it's because there isn't anything. Kuminga's asked for a trade. My initial reaction was, well, he sucks on defense too. Why would you want him?
He doesn't try. He's athletic. He could be a stopper on defense because he's so athletic, but he doesn't choose to. Guys, there's a reason why there's such a monumental rift between him and Kerr. And it's not just about Kerr doesn't know what he's doing. The guy's won a few titles and whatnot. So I have a tendency to lean on Kerr or that. Is he a little bit too hard on Kuminga? Yes, I would agree with you. Yes, he should have given him a little bit more clearance to play, but Kuminga is not a great three-point shooter. And if you watched him, he does not stay engaged and utilize all his talents on the defensive end. And that's the problem.
Who's that sound like on the Lakers?
Yeah, exactly. He reminds me of a very poor man's Edwards, because Edwards, he'll admit it to you. He doesn't focus in on every defensive play, but when he does, he can lock down almost as good as anyone in the league. And because he's so, he has to carry so much of a load on the offensive end. That's what Kuminga wants to do. He wants to take the load on the offensive end, but to the point, he doesn't have all the same gifts that an Edwards or some other players of their own does. He thinks he's at this level, but is he at the end of the day really at this level?
So let's talk about the positives here, because again, I think we're pulling at straws here because there isn't an answer. So I'm giving you guys a little bit of leeway. You want to blame Luka?
I would stay away from Kuminga.
You want to blame Luka? You want to blame this guy? You want to blame that guy? Fine, and we'll blame. But here's where things are going to change. Okay, these things like you just said, where Kerr is has he said this publicly, or is it kind of hearsay?
But
Kuminga doesn't have a high basketball IQ. We see that on the Lakers a lot, right? And I think a lot of that too is the fact that, and maybe Steve Kerr's issue is he's trying to get him to up his IQ, but he's not capable of doing it. And Kuminga has a false sense of who he is. He might think, "Oh man, if I go to another team, I'll be able to do better." Look, Steve Kerr isn't really one of my favorite guys. I don't dislike him, but he's just, yeah. I think he's just. I don't agree with how he interprets things. But he is an accommodating guy. He is going to be patient with you. He is going to try to help you as much as he can. He has that. That's who he is in a good way. He's not going to have an ego that dominates the room and ruins the chemistry. A basketball player is the easiest, in my view, the easiest player to assess. And the only problem with Kuminga in Golden State is the only reason why he's still there is because of the way the NBA has set up its league. Otherwise, they would have let him go or they would have traded him for something. And that's the whole point here. I really need to reiterate this more and more. Guys, I cannot explain to you how bad this last CBA was. It was catastrophic at how bad it was. Because movement is now at a halt. Look at the deal that Trae Young was involved with. Look at the Luka deal. These deals weren't happening before this collective bargaining agreement. There was no way you were going to get Luka for nothing. There was no way you were going to get Trae. I know Trae Young isn't the best thing ever, but to get him for two guys that are one's pretty much done and the other is what? A specialist? No draft capital? That's where the market has gotten. Why? Because these teams are not going to give up draft picks like they used to. The days after the CBA of giving up 4 or 5 first-round picks is over. Because there's no way 2/3 of the NBA owners are going to let the second apron hit. These guys want to make money. They don't want to lose money. So it slowed any way of getting out of any rut. You have to not screw up. Presti, as great as he is, he really, really, really got lucky with that deal in LA. And in life, luck plays a part in your success. It does. But because the Clippers were stupid and didn't value their own future MVP because they wanted to win now, they wasted what should be them right now. It should be them being Oklahoma City. But they screwed up. All that money, what did it do? The knowledge wasn't there. They didn't see it. Well, if Mark Walter doesn't take 51+%, whatever it is that he has, majority ownership of the Lakers, I'd be in more of a depressed state right now. I have zero worry right now. And again, if you needed more evidence of that, just go on ESPN and see the top of the headline. Guys, help is coming. It's coming. Enjoy the year. Try to do your best to enjoy the last year of LeBron in a Laker uniform. Enjoy the fact that you have Luka Doncic, who's going to win MVPs with this team and is going to win championships because they're going to put together a team in the next 2 to 3 years that's going to be a consistent contender. And believe me when I say this, people are going to want to come to LA. You don't believe me? Go talk to Freddie Freeman. Go talk to Luka even with him. Hey, he didn't have to sign an extension. Freddie Freeman, Luka, Kyle Tucker, Snell. I mean, guys, people want to come here. If you have the money here, they'll come. And the Lakers are going to have $100 million to play with this summer. Now, I don't think they're going to get anything significant in terms of star power, unless it's some kind of demand. But I do feel very comfortable that there's going to be somebody available in 2027. And then you don't have to spend, you don't have to spend draft capital and talent on your team to do it. And those players are going to know that if they want to win. They're going to know. They're going to know because you're not winning with 2 guys maxed out and a bunch of freaking Gabe Vincents. It's not going to happen. You want to win consistently? You're going to have to start drafting really, really well. No more duds like Connect or JHS. Stop trading the stop trading the Zubac's for who the hell was it that they traded him for? Muscala?
Mike effing Muscala.
Yeah.
I always put the F in there. That's as this middle name.
And again, I always have to bring this up because the couch guys, because we're couch people, right? We're the armchair quarterbacks. And Magic Johnson is Magic Johnson. However, I think it's very important to understand that Magic Johnson mastered basketball as a player. And I have said this for many years that the general manager in the NBA as a whole is really bad. A lot of bad GMs in the NBA. And Magic was a bad one. GM / player, whatever, middle, the middle executive, right? The head executive. Not because I say so, not because I'm sitting on my couch judging. You guys see the results. Okay, what's your question, JJ Redick? Since you make up a bunch of lying bullshit, that's why I've been ignoring you. Go ahead, tell me. Ask me a question. Because I can't read while I'm talking half the time. I mean, go ahead.
I'll see. Let me see if I get what JJ. Joe, wait for the future, quote unquote. Also, Luka Doncic, who's in the locker room every game. Do we know how long Luka's prime is?
Well, considering he doesn't need athleticism to dominate, I'd say another 10 years he'll be playing in LA.
And El Rosto, he does have a point. He didn't look like a bad draft pick at all until that trade that Rob rescinded. El Rosto is saying. That's
Connect? Well, I'm sorry, but if we've had players that he couldn't fill their baby shoes that have played with being traded and all that. Who is he to worry about being jilted? I'm not accepting that.
Like I said, guys, yeah, Magic might be the one who initiated that trade, but Rob was in that room. Rob could have put some sense into Magic before that trade was made. So don't let Rob is not certainly in any way, shape, or form off the hook on that one, guys. I mean, it just, again, the roster construction on this team, and Stefan and I know on his show, go ahead and like and subscribe. We're going to have a conversation on that. He's going to try to sell me, is what the quote is in advance on Rob. And all I have to do is sit back and laugh because the resume's there. It's all there in black and white. This is how bad this roster construction is. This is all Rob Pelinka as far as how bad this roster construction is. Over the course of this entire decade, Joe, he could have said no to the Westbrook trade, but nope, he did it and also traded away first-round picks that we could have utilized. He's also was in the room to make all those draft choices, Joe, over the course of this decade with only one. What Connect at this point is not a good draft pick because of what happened after that trade. So the only decent draft pick that he's made was a second rounder in Max Christie. That's it. There's already a list of players who have not made it under Rob's auspices. And the decisions that he made, the fact that he keeps getting small guards who are just terrible once they leave Miami, the fact that he just is not able to go ahead and ascertain what the league is all about, guys that he could get on the cheap, seemingly go to other teams, even the assets as far as what they need, and the faults of this team seem to continue year over year. It's just bad roster construction, and every year you do that with Luka, and you waste a year of Luka, is a year wasted of one of the best players in the NBA.
So JJ Redick is saying that the Lakers kind of blew away the young crowd, their young draft picks, correct?
Yeah, like you're talking about the last decade with the Cards and the Kuzmas, etc.
So the post-Kobe run, even though Kobe was still on the team, it really started with Julius Randle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Julius Randle was picked 7th in 2014. Julius has been a pretty damn good player. The following year, you had D'Angelo Russell as the 2nd pick. Unfortunately, he's not a bust, but he wasn't worthy of a 2nd pick. Larry Nance, good role player. Okay. Zubac, the following year, you got Brandon Ingram, which, by the way, instead of Brandon Ingram, the Lakers probably should have got Jaylen Brown a pick later, but they didn't. But they got Zubac. Imagine if they had had Zubac and Jaylen Brown in 2016. That would have been an interesting team. Everything you see in Boston, right? The following year, you got Brandon Ingram when you, Lonzo Ball when you could have had Jason Tatum. So the question, let me answer the question though. Let me answer the question. Do you feel that, Gerald? I'm asking you. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that if the Lakers had said, we're not gonna, LeBron, don't come here. We're gonna build our own team in house. Okay, cool. So let's look at this team. Julius Randle, definitely power forward, right? Mm-hmm. Zubac, definitely the starting center, right? Mm-hmm. Brandon Ingram, small forward, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have Lonzo Ball at the point, mm-hmm. And then you had Josh Hart. When did Josh Hart get drafted?
Josh Hart was right in that mix because remember he was right there at the end of the draft, end of the first round. Same year as Kuzma.
Why isn't it showing up on here?
Same year as Kuzma.
Kuzma?
So the same year Kuzma got drafted.
Was it 19?
No, it was 18. It was the year that they all went to the summer league. When they won the summer league
weird.
championship.
It's because it's not showing up on. I got Mo Wagner in 18, and then Svi.
I think it's 17. Was it the year they won the summer league title? Which I was there.
It's weird. Okay, anyways, so you have Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, and Zubac. And then the Nances and all those guys.
T3.
So what do you think? Let's talk about this. No. JJ.
Let me just say this real quickly for T3 because T3 they can't cut Bronny's contract. It's guaranteed. You still eat the money either which way because he said Lakers cut him instead of Bronny to sign Marcus Smart. As far as Jordan Goodwin is concerned, I would have loved to keep Jordan Goodwin. Trust me, I would have. But financially, Bronny is on guaranteed contract for 3 years. So you would still have to eat the money. Even if you stretched to waive him, you would still have to eat a portion of money. And it probably still wouldn't have fit to keep Jordan Goodwin as well. So again, they roster construction by Rob Pelinka.
Okay. So JJ Redick thinks that the Lakers would have won 5 championships with this young team. So let's look at it from 2 ways. I'm going to go with what they drafted, and then we'll go from there. So you have Lonzo Ball at the 1, Josh Hart at the 2, Brandon Ingram at the 3, Randle at the 4, Zubac at the 5. Then you have Josh Hart, Kuzma in terms of depth. Do you have D'Angelo Russell at that point? Yeah. Larry Nance? How do you think that plays out?
Good team. That's a good team, but not a title team. They would have had to have gotten one more player in that.
Okay, how about this? How about if they did their homework, which they don't, in 16 and 17, they picked Tatum, replaced Tatum and Jaylen Brown, replaced Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum with that team.
And kept Kuzma. Kept Caruso on top of it.
Oh, so then you'd have Caruso on top of that, right? So
looks better.
Looks better, right? But didn't Lonzo get hurt?
Oh yeah,
didn't D'Angelo turn into a knob?
BBB.
Can you pay everybody on that roster? A lot of those guys make a lot of money. Could you pay them? Maybe. It's a good point. It's a good what if? I had thought about it a few years ago. But then kind of Lonzo getting hurt and D'Angelo kind of going south. I didn't really look into it. But then Josh Hart improved so much that I was like, oh, okay. But you would have had two busts, unfortunately. To me, Lonzo's a bust and D'Angelo's sort of a bust. I don't think they win a championship
because Lonzo because of health reasons.
Yeah, I don't think they win a championship. However, if you do exchange Brandon Ingram and Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, the hit with D'Angelo Russell doesn't hurt as much. It's a great what if. I think we should have a show one day about that. Just really dissect it. I think it's a good point.
Yep.
A what if would be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not. It's hard, guys. Are you not going? LeBron James and Anthony Davis. It's just unfortunate that it went the way it did because they didn't have to. They didn't have to go this way. They should have just kept the team together, kept Caruso, kept KCP. Rondo was a little long in the tooth. I understood if he wasn't going to work out, but then that's when you go and draft another point guard, do your homework and draft another point guard or get somebody in free agency. But they've been hitting the shitter with that, with the Kendricks and the Gabes. I mean, geez, they've really, really, really just been dog shit getting free agents to come in. It's just not. It's just these guys are not capable of doing it the right way.
And with like Lonzo and with AD, you're just not going to avoid the fact that those guys are injury prone. Those guys did get injured mainly because someone else, although this latest injury by AD was because Markkanen, he smashed his hand against Markkanen like that, really close like that. These guys are just injury prone. These guys are just prone to getting injured. And in case of Lonzo, Joe, I think it was just like a total degradation of his knee. Am I not mistaken on that, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad, and you
BBBs,
saw.
I'm kidding when I say BBB, but it was the BBBs that helped.
That probably, I don't know if that played a factor. Maybe it did, but you saw the skin. You saw the food that when he had his show. I remember somebody talked about he just ate slop. So factor in shoe wear, factor in genetics, factor in, because I don't want to just throw it on the diet either. Michael Jordan used to eat McDonald's and drink Sprite, from what I heard, and that's son of a gun. Other than 1 year where he broke his ankle or foot, he never missed games. So it's not just always the diet, but it plays. Like if you're going to encompass all of it, yeah. I never clicked with Lonzo. Even when he was the greatest summer league player of all time, there was just something about him, something very Asperger-y about him. And I don't know. These guys are just soft. They're soft in so many ways. I know that these companies have been serving us the last 20, 30 years with worse food than it was before. It's just a trough of a lot of bad things. You really have to pay attention to everything these days, because it just seems like everything is coming at you. Bad information, bad food additives, bad people that are wanting stuff from you, miserable people that are trying to make you miserable. That all plays a factor in this, mentally, physically. You get a little money, all of a sudden you start getting comfortable too. Most of these guys got comfortable once they got their money.
Once again, the Lakers, they lose tonight.
Hey, El Rosto, you're not going to get mad again and leave, are you?
What? Who? El Rosto? No, El Rosto has to get up at 3 in the morning, so he had to leave early. 135 to 117. The Lakers lose to Charlotte. They are 24-15. All right, Joe. Here's what's going on here in the future for the Lakers. The Lakers, get this, Joe. These are the reasons why you have to win against the Sacramento and why you have to win against Charlotte. People argue with us all the time. Oh, it's just a loss against. It's just, guys. you overreact, blah, 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 blah. This is why you need to win against these easy teams when they come up on your schedule, Joe, because right now, guess what? The Lakers in the next 10 games, 9 of them are on the road. And with this Lakers team, you don't know if they're going to be there from one game to the next. There's another back-to-back on Saturday and Sunday. Will LeBron play
You're
this
awesome.
back-to-back? That's the thing. Thank you so much, Intel. Truly appreciate it, my friend. Celebrating 4 months of being a member. Cannot thank you enough for doing so. As always, my friend. Joe, they're in Portland on Saturday. They come back home against Toronto on Sunday. Then Denver, the Clippers at the Intuit Dome. So it's kind of like a home game. Dallas, Chicago, Cleveland, Washington, New York, Brooklyn, all on the road. So with that, 9 out of the next 10 games are on the road. What do you see as far as their record for the next 10 games?
That's a tough one.
There are some very winnable games on the road against some pretty bad Eastern Conference teams, but then again, what was tonight?
Portland is always an iffy. Will Toronto want revenge for what they got handed to them in Toronto? Denver is tough. Clippers are playing well right now. Playing in Dallas right now is Chicago's always playing us well. Cleveland's a good team. I guess Washington's the shittiest one out of the group. But then you got New York. That's going to be a tough road, man. That's a tough one. If they come out of this 5-5, they won. Yeah, if they come out 5-5, then it's kind of a win. But if somebody gets hurt, like LeBron or Luka, this thing.
And I'm not going to say LeBron's not going to be there for the back-to-back again, and then
this thing can fall off its rails pretty quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's really 9. It's 9 with the Toronto game on the back end of a back-to-back on Sunday. This is a tough road trip. Yeah, it's a really tough. And then after they get back, they're going to play Philly at home, Golden State at home, Oklahoma City at home, San Antonio at home, Dallas at home, Clippers. I mean, that road trip is hard, but the games that they're playing at home, they're playing Boston, the Clippers, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, and Philadelphia in that home run. This is I'm going to say this. We're going to know exactly who the Lakers are this year at the end of February.
I agree. But again, the Lakers are at Portland on Saturday and Sunday. They're at home versus Toronto. I'm not going to say that again because I got called out on the last game that when I said that LeBron definitely is not going to be there for back-to-back games. I'll just say it's a possibility that LeBron or Luka may not be able to play both those back-to-back games, but we'll see. We'll see. I hope they do because right now, what's coming off that bench, Joe, is not doing us any favors and not giving us any inspiration because tonight on both ends of that ball, Joe, it was bad. And I'm not, again, this is not just a trashing of Vando or anything like that. Vando got burned. Gabe got burned. Marcus Smart got burned. Jake LaRavia got burned. They all got burned. And again, I understand you guys want us to go ahead and make sure we give LeBron and Luka some equal dislove when it comes to the defensive end. Yeah, they played awful defense, but those primary defenders, those guys you have on the ball against those hot shooters did not do anything. It's like pouring gasoline on the fire, Joe, and it just seemed like the house went up in flames.
They don't have a single defender on this team that's consistent. Marcus Smart is doing his best, but
he got roasted tonight. He got absolutely roasted tonight by Ball.
He's on the down end of his career.
And I knew we were in trouble because, again, the guy, who we got, these are the guys who we depend on for the primary defender. They just shot over Gabe. They went right through Vanderbilt, and they shot from distance in Marcus Smart's face as he just waved as they went on by. Yeah,
It's a lot of it is desire too. They just look like they don't give a shit. That box out by Ayton, kind of like just half-ass, just standing there like a jackass. It's just not. And JJ Redick is probably getting tuned out right about now. It's starting to get to the point where you can tell it's getting tuned out.
Tough. I know they had a great first quarter, and again, I did note that at the beginning of my monologue. But didn't Luka have to score 19 in the first quarter to do it? Because remember, he was out an extra long period of time in that second quarter. He had an extra long break in that second quarter, which didn't help matters as they were starting to run up the scoreboard on the Lakers. So, I don't want to put two and two together per se specifically on that. Oh, you're citing for Luka. No. Again, it wasn't just Luka not being out there tonight, which is the reason why they went out there in the second quarter. They had nothing as far as on the defensive end to offer. It was very passive on that end, and they just could not miss on Charlotte. And they didn't miss all game. They're 50, 40, and 90 tonight from the field. It's ended from the free throw line. 50, 40 plus. It was closer to 50, 50, 90. And it just seemed like they couldn't miss. The right people shot the ball at the right times. They executed extremely well on the offensive end. And the Lakers, 117 isn't a bad offensive night for the Lakers. That's actually right around their average, guys. It was the fact they just couldn't make any stops, period, and slow down Charlotte at all.
Nothing we haven't seen before a few times, this year, and I don't know if it's going to continue. I don't know if it's going to get better. There's nothing else to say anymore. They look tired already. They look unmotivated and they look tired. And that's what happens when you lack talent. Your athleticism isn't there. Your talent isn't there to make up for the time that you are talented. We talked about this earlier in the year where athleticism can take you so much further because you're not putting as much effort in a game because your step is quicker, your ability to elevate is quicker, your ability to shoot quick is it's less taxing when you have that natural ability to do that. If you're someone like Austin Reeves, who's not as athletic, who has lateral deficiencies, who can't get as much elevation on his shot, who doesn't have speed to get to the basket, you can see when he does do his work, it's more taxing for him to do it, and that takes away from the other side of the court too. Especially if you do that and then you miss a shot, you make a turnover, you become unmotivated getting back because you're upset with yourself or you're embarrassed. Basketball is a, if you want it to work out for you, it's got to be, you have to be engaged every second you're out there in every way. And when you're not, a team will take advantage of it, especially a team that can shoot, especially a team that has athletes. And athletic teams are exactly that. Jay, comparing Luka Doncic to Justin Herbert is pretty ignorant, by the way. That's a dumb comparison. That's a horrible comparison.
I mean, Justin has never
Justin Herbert lead the Chargers to the Super Bowl by himself. Was he Rookie of the Year? Was he on the All-Pro team 5 years in a row? No.
Again, you guys.
I don't want Clay. Please, for the love of God, no more washed-up players. No more washed up players, guys. The washed up players are not gonna. Are you guys not watching Marcus Smart? Isn't that enough for you? How about Gabe Vincent? Is that enough for you? We
I
don't
think
need. Clay's not gonna be.
I
Good.
think
He's not gonna
Clay
work
is
here.
on a longer term. I don't think he's on. Is this? I don't think it's this his final year. I think he has one more year. I think, or am I mistaken? Guys, let me know in the comments if Clay has 3 years on his contract or was two.
King Cora. That might be a good example. I'm sorry, Stefan. That might be a good example. Uh, both of you with Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning. The reason why I think those are good comparisons is the difference between Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady is coaching. Tom Brady didn't have to worry about the defense and making sure everybody else was doing their thing. He could focus on what he was doing. That's why whenever somebody says Belichick needed Brady, yeah, every great coach needs great players, especially the top guy. So
Thank you,
let's
Stefan.
let's get out of that mindset. Oh, he needed him. Well, Belichick may very well have won a Super Bowl without Tom Brady, but he wouldn't have won 6. So if you look at Aaron Rodgers and you look at Peyton Manning had Jim Mora, Tony Dungy, Jim Caldwell, and then later Kubiak when he was in Denver as a head coach. None of those guys. Tony Dungy's in the Hall of Fame because of other reasons besides coaching. He had to control everything. He had to do everything. That's just how it played out. Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy. I think Sherman was his coach too at the beginning, but he didn't really play that much at that point. LaFleur, obviously. So if you put Aaron Rodgers on that Patriots team, if you put Peyton Manning on that Patriots team, those guys probably have 5-6 championships as well.
If Ellis becomes available, John, I don't think that the Lakers will be able to get him. I think that's the one that everybody is seeing because of the trade. I think he might go in the trade with Golden State if the Sacramento Kings get Kuminga, or if Ellis does become available, a lot of teams are going to get interested, and the Lakers just don't have enough assets to do so. I hope it would be nice because he seems to be a decent player, but I just don't think that, again, what we have as assets outside of expiring contracts is not a whole lot. And it just hurts when you don't have much outside of that. And it seems like Rob is very intent. And again, Rich Paul, especially this week, has said a lot of things that I don't agree with. And the way he's gone about it, I don't agree with. But the one thing he did say, guys, that I think was true that more people need to take notice was when LeBron opted into that final $52.6 million contract. He said that the Lakers were on two different timelines: to be competitive now, but to save cap space for this summer and or next. And I think exactly that's what they're going to do. And I'm hoping Joe is right and they get rid of Rob, because I really don't, all apologies to you, Stefan, but he is definitely a bottom half of GM in the league. I really do not think he is qualified to do his position well, because over the course of time, the results there have shown he's not able to build a team consistently. And I hope he's gone. But if Mark Walter is letting Jeannie and Rob run this team and continue to go forward, then that looks more and more like, with each passing day, that's what they're going to do. They might get a couple deals here and a couple players to come in, on some fringe deals, but you really can't trade for star or stars right now with what the Lakers have to offer.
Yeah, there's no stars really.
Sorry, Stefan. He's
really
just not that good a GM.
There's really good players, but the asset giveaways is done. You have to start drafting well, and you need stars to come to your team, which I'm still holding out hope that Giannis, Jokic, and Donovan Mitchell will opt out of their deals next year.
Well, thank you, Tough. We love you, man. Nothing but love for Tough. Tough is so awesome. He is there every game. He is there, rooting for the Lakers so hard. I can hear the anguish every time this tonight when Charlotte kept bombing from three or going inside from three or passing it to Kalkbrenner for a dunk. By the way, Kalkbrenner did get chosen ahead of Thiero, but if Rob was made two trades in the second round to move up twice, could have moved up a little higher to get a Kalkbrenner type, or could have picked a Renault type, or could have picked anybody right now who's actually playing, because Thiero has had bad knees since day one of signing his contract with the Lakers. So I don't know. You guys tell me. At this point, I here as a sounding board. Joe is here as a sounding board, but there's a limit to what we can take as individuals. When you guys start talking about Bronny as a 20-point per game player, or as Bronny as the answer to all the Lakers questions, that's when I worry about you guys. I really, really worry about you guys, Joe.
I don't worry about anybody.
That's what I thought. Yes. Well, at least I have the heart to worry about you guys.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know. Yeah. Yeah. That's where we're at. But the Lakers do lose tonight, 135 to 117. The Lakers are now 24-15, fourth place in the Western Conference. Again, Joe, 9 out of the next 10 games are on the road. You are not predicting great things. I think because there are some very winnable games, I'm going to say 6-4, but that's a very shaky 6-4 in my book. And at this point in time, the Lakers, they just don't take advantage of situations. Each and every bad loss this week, Joe, have come on the heels of other teams around them, whether it's San Antonio, whether it's Denver, whether it's Minnesota, whether it's Houston, whether it's Phoenix, all having losses. Tonight, Phoenix and Houston both lost, and they could have put some distance between themselves and those two teams. And when you see the need to go ahead and get those kind of wins against sub 500 teams, you've got to get that done, Joe. You absolutely have got to get that done. By the way, Black, one more year. You've got one more guaranteed year for Bronny James. Sorry.
Well, I got a pretty good idea that if LeBron is out, I think they figure out a trade to include him into something.
I hope so.
Yeah. The only way maybe it gets delayed is if Jeannie begged Mark to keep Rob on for something.
Oh, this was a good one though by Luke Walton. What's up, Luke? How's he's an assistant coach on the Pistons. Even he's having a better time right now than the Lakers. He says that people that gotta say they don't worry about anything, worry about everything.
Which people?
I think he was referring to you.
Worried about you?
No, he said because you said.
Look, who gives a shit what he says?
Okay.
That guy doesn't know me. Go suck on a fucking doorknob, dumbass.
Lakers forever. How you doing? He says we look very sad and miserable. Dodgers just signed Kyle Tucker, so at least that's a bright ray.
You might want to change the prescription of your eyes. You have shit in your eyes. You have no idea how good my life is.
They're on it tonight, Joe. The chat is on it. It's one of those days where it's a chat game where it's a good chat game, but this is like a different chat game. I'll just say that. Stefan says, fun fact though, Bronny shockingly is shooting a higher percentage this season from the free throw line and 3-pointers than LeBron Sr.
Who's shooting what?
LeBron Jr. in his limited amount of times is shooting better from the free throw line and 3-point line. Because he made those 2 3-pointers at the end of the Sacramento game in 2 minutes. So, that's they're holding on to that.
No comment.
I would not hold on to that. The sample size is way different, guys. You cannot judge a player by the few opportunities that he has gotten and only deserved, because frankly, Bronny, as we've seen, is not an NBA level talent. I mean, he goes and gets beaten quite a bit in the G League. The G League, where Kobe Buffkin is dominating more than Bronny ever has. And Kobe tonight, he looked bad as far as on the offensive end. I know he tried hard and he hustled really hard on the defensive end. Seemed to be the only one that really gave that kind of effort. Tried to stay in front of his man best he can, but yeah, just to no avail tonight. And I thought Nick Smith was being limited because of his two-way status, but he was available tonight. And I just don't understand why JJ doesn't utilize those talents when he sees Gabe bricking three after three after three.
You don't really have to. You don't really have to trade Bronny. You could just release him at the end of the year. $1 million is nothing.
It's two.
So I would clear house, honestly. At this point, I don't think this is going to end well. They may get lucky, win one round, but I don't think they will. I don't see them. I just don't. I don't see them at this point. See them competing for anything deep into the playoffs.
I think, Adam, you just answered your own question on that. He said, if Smart and LaRavia are such good defenders, why are other teams scoring so much against them? Even better.
It's a couple of reasons. The competitive juice is not there. The coaching isn't connecting. The lack of defenders around them the click of the chemistry isn't there. There's when you're always putting pieces together instead of having the same team year in, year out, this is the kind of stuff that happens. And sometimes it can sometimes it can click, but the talent and the age and the determination isn't there for a lot of these guys.
I think awful coaching will go after JJ because that's what he did at the Sacramento game. Because he went on and had the house burning, and JJ at the front. And he used JJ in the title. So look for JJ in the title is my guess because Braun scored 29. So I guess he might get away. Although I'm sure he'll take a shot at Luka, LeBron, and the entire defense on several occasions tonight because it's well deserved. But yeah, awful coaching, man. We're big fans because he shouts it like it is. Lakers Forever says Gerald looks fine, but Joe looks like he eats whenever something stresses him out.
There's some truth to that. Yeah, his mother likes to come over sometimes, and it's very, very filling. It's very nice. I enjoy it. It's like a button. All I got to do is press the button, and it's like room service.
Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers again lose tonight.
Tell Mom I said thanks for the good meals. It keeps me going during the day when I'm rocking and rolling.
135 to 117. Adam says, do you guys know awful coaching is doing lives? Yeah, I heard his first one, Adam. Very interesting. I'll leave it at that. Just very interesting what I think I sat through one, but his first one. But yeah, again, very interesting when you see awful coaching, especially when he loses his voice. That's the funny part. But Joe, a good day for you overall, my friend, because the Dodgers, a team that you have been so far behind more than anyone I know, they landed the marquee free agent this year. 30 million deferred, 4 years, 240. Is there any more that needs to be done? Is a Bichette possibly on the way as well?
I think I would enjoy that if just to see Toronto melt down. The funny thing is that there's a popular group, and this was the same group that was having a conniption fit about the plane going to Toronto. Mm-hmm. One of their doofuses was like, I'm ready for a lockout. And he said that after the World Series too. So sore losers are everywhere. I don't think they're going to get Bichette because I think they're good at second base. They have Sung Lee. I'm sorry, I'm saying Hung Sung Kim and Edmund at second base. You can slide Mookie Betts there if you need to. You could have Kike be there sometimes. I don't know necessarily if they need to go drop another 200 mil for Dante. Look, that's how old I am.
There you go.
Bo Bichette, his pops, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I just don't. I mean, if they did, it would be it would be them saying, honest to God, they'd be like, F everyone. We are going to win, and we're going to be the greatest team ever assembled in 2026. You guys want to lock us out? Go ahead and lock us out. We'll be locked in, because even if for some weird reason, because I don't think it's going to happen, with some weird reason they lock out 2027, that's giving the Dodgers a year off to get rested up. And they're just going to come back and whoop your ass still. So,
Trayvon, hey, I hadn't seen you in a while, my friend. I hope all is well with you. Good to have you back. Joe, who
no, I
do you
have
want?
diabetes, man. I'm pretty healthy.
It's just the same guy.
And my mom is dead, by the way. So, yeah.
He's changing profiles to be with
Yeah,
you.
I know.
Trayvon,
I know he is. Yeah.
Trayvon, maybe it's the
I bet
same
you wouldn't see that in front of me. It's easy saying it behind your phone while you're jerking off on the toilet, right?
Trayvon was asking, who do you think the next coach for the Steelers might be?
I'm leaning towards Chris Shula right now. Their MO is getting a defensive-minded coach. When they brought in Chuck Noll in 1969, he was a defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Colts. Bill Cowher was a defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, and then Mike Tomlin was the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. They may go offense. They may go get a LaFleur, or there's another LaFleur, by the way. One of the McVay disciples. There's a bunch of the McVay disciples and Shanahan disciples, and they're all McVays. They're all Shulas, all the lineage from all the great coaches and former coaches and current coaches and all that. I really don't have an educated guess. I'm still doing research on who is what. Brian Flores' name is being brought up. I think he'd be great as a defensive coordinator. I don't think he's got the longevity for a head coach. And the Steelers want a coach that's going to be there for the next 15 to 20 years, like they've had. Say they had Chuck Noll for 23, Bill Cowher for 15, and they had Mike Tomlin for 19. So when they hire a coach, they're not going to fire him. And they're going to know, hey, this guy's going to last. This guy has the energy. That's why they like to get the 30-year-olds hired. They don't go with the young guys. Stefanski's a rehash. They usually don't go that route either. They usually like first-time head coaches. So I don't think Stefanski is going to be that guy. I think Stefanski will get a job. I think he might end up getting the Atlanta job. I have a feeling he's going to go to Atlanta. That's my guess.
That actually would be a good gig, Joe, especially with what they have out there as far as.
Well, they have Bijan. Yeah, and he is as good as he is already. Man, if you get the right quarterback, I mean, and that's everything, right? In anything. Kirk Cousins might end up being the quarterback next year, even too. But I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go with him and what's his name? I totally blanked on who it is. Washington Husky quarterback, totally blanked.
Penix.
Penix, yeah, Penix Jr. Yeah. So I don't know. I wasn't happy, not happy, but I didn't get the Penix reach. Much like JJ McCarthy, I thought too many teams reach for these quarterbacks. JJ McCarthy to me was a third day quarterback. Penix, same thing. I don't think those guys were high first round or mid round picks. I don't know why Minnesota and I think McConnell thought because he's a quarterback whisperer, I think they thought maybe we can turn JJ into something. But I saw him in Michigan. He wasn't that good as a quarterback. I think he was good as a manager, but not as a quarterback. And you can't really be a manager in the NFL these days. It's too difficult. You need someone that can throw the ball and run, and especially run. Pocket quarterbacks are just not the norm anymore. They've been giving MVPs to Lamar Jackson. They're giving MVPs to Josh Allen. I think Matt Stafford's going to be the first pocket quarterback that's going to win an MVP now. So for that in a while. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. But for tonight, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. We'll be back. I don't know about a Lakerholics. I'll schedule it, but I'm not if they ask for it, but I don't know if they're going to do one yet. They haven't told me. Usually will tell me sometime tomorrow. So if I do, I'll post it up there. Again, check out my conversation earlier this week with Caleb Ponce on NBA observations. Hopefully, I can get some more lined up here in the not too distant future with maybe Legend and some of the other guys out there as well. So hopefully, we get that up for you. But please go ahead, like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. We've had a pretty good showing tonight. People seem to show up in our losses more than wins for whatever reason. Maybe we have more charm and zing, and the fact that we like to call it like we see it is more affecting to you guys out there when they lose. And then when we win, you want to hear the flowers and all that stuff, which is fine. I'm just glad you're here. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break.
I'm not
Truly
glad
appreciate it.
everyone's here. I think there's a couple of dildos that are in the chat
Well,
that
that
only
that
have
comes with the territory. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate it. Tufts. Oh, yeah. You're going to display your childhood. Nice going, Tough. Absolutely. Drip Show is just awesome. So if you guys go ahead, support Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Twitter and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and all that good stuff. Joe had on his Drip Show Dodger style hat tonight. I've got the Luka and LeBron art. He's got the Luka. He's got the LeBron art. Is that LeBron or is that Kobe behind you on the poster?
That's Kobe.
Oh, that's Kobe. My bad, Kobe.
And then I have Ohtani,
Shohei Ohtani.
and
There
then
you go.
the wood game 4 from the Brewers and LCS closeouts.
There you go.
Game.
Absolutely. Some dang nice stuff there. And you can get all this great stuff right there for you. Or if you have an idea, pop culture or sports related, please go ahead and hit up at Trip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. He'll let you know if you can do it. And if you can, there's no one better for your great collectible needs. Pillow with Kobe right here at Gigi. I mean, gosh, guys, come on. Do yourself a favor, start your new year right. Head over to @TripShop on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and wherever you get your social media. But Joe, great job again today. A great day for the Dodgers. It's not a great day for the Lakers as they lose tonight. They get smacked around by the Charlotte Hornets. And now the schedule does not turn into our favor because 9 of the next 10 games are going to be on the road, starting with Joe, our favorite, a back-to-back on Saturday and Sunday. Will those guys play in Luka LeBron? Will they not?
Why would they have a back-to-back on a Saturday, Sunday during football playoffs?
Doesn't seem very smart to me, but
God, Adam Silver's an idiot, man.
And they're not like after. Yeah, they're not like after. They're both evening games. So
what the hell is wrong with this guy? He let the NFL run over him. He let his players run over him. Then he really hit the shit in the last 6 years. Jeez.
But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. We will be back for you on the post game against Portland, and then also as well on Sunday against Toronto, a home game against Toronto, indeed. The Aeronetics says Patriots. Hey, that defense, they're going to have to ride that defense all the way to the Super Bowl. And you know what? That defense is pretty darn good. I watched that. They were really, really.
God, I don't know what the hell Tennessee was thinking letting go of Mike Rabel.
Aeronetic.
Such a stupid franchise, my God.
They should beat the Texans, but man, the Texans are hot. They've won 10 in a row?
Yeah, but CJ Stroud's going to hit the shitter. He already did. He practically was trying to. He was horrible. He's horrible. I'm not a big fan of CJ Stroud. Never have been.
I could tell. But
I'm not saying that because I don't like him. I think his game sucks. I don't think he's good. Ohio State quarterbacks just are not good. And I've been having to navigate through the Will Howard thing with the Steelers, and everybody's like, "Play the kid, play the kid." I'm like,
I'm not going to underestimate the New England defense, because I kind of did in the Chargers because I thought the Chargers would have a better chance, and yeah, that defense sold me. Right now is maybe being the best in all of the NFL right now. So We'll see what happens, like you said, Aaronetic. But Craig says go Rams. We'll see what happens with the Rams this weekend as well. 49ers. My pick, if you watched Inside Sports Fantasy Football, they're also in it as well, though everybody seems to get hurt for them. So the walking wounded with the 49ers are there coming as well. Going to be a good weekend for football. Tell you what, Joe, like I said to you back earlier this week, last week was one of the best weekends. Couple games that were duds, but for the most part, best weekend for watching football, and I'm hoping this weekend will be as well. Close games. I just want close games. As a NFL fan, I just want to see close games. That's all I want to see.
I don't care.
See, there you go. All right. Spoken like a true Steeler fan. That is, of course, Joe Sorrell, the Joe Sorrell Experiment. Go check out his conversation with Empire Jeff, as Empire Jeff tells you how it is with the Dodgers signing Kyle Tucker while he was walking through a mini mall. So I'm like, where's he going by now? Oh, wow. Where's he going by now? He's walking down the street, still talking to you. Well, he's going to, yeah, if you want to go ahead and check out that conversation, it was a really good conversation. It really in depth about the Dodgers and the look ahead. Please go ahead and check it out on the Joe Sorrell Experiment channel as well. But Aaron X says, get revenge for that Mac Jones trade. Well, there you go. Varia, Xbox, and Sports Baby. Those two. You two Aussies, man.
Are you going to join us back on our chat?
Someday I will. Maybe sooner, maybe later.
You're missing all the fun when they talk.
I heard you rip me. I heard you rip me apart all the time.
Yeah, but I told everybody to tell you though. I'm not like these weasels behind the phone that I can't see.
That's a good point. So I'm just so invigorated to go on back to that ripping. Then I have to one up you again and again and again. So sorry, it's the truth. I hadn't had such a good laugh, and
I'm not the one that unchatted myself
because I did. It's not a productive chat.
You gave up. It's okay.
I was laughing my ass off. I was roasting you guys. You got so frustrated.
No,
you were getting so frustrated. It was hilarious. Again, I don't want to go into. I might. I'll see. It depends on my mood. We'll see. I may come back. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Sorrell. Please like and subscribe. And then once again, guys, if you have a need and you're in the Southern California area for some really great synthetic turf, take a look at his site, Sin Blades on Instagram, sinblades.com. You know what? Joe and I, we razz each other, all that stuff, but I am not razzing on him as a family man and him as a businessman, because you take a look at Sin Blades and you see the stuff is there. It's real. That's all him. That's all him and his great employees at his company. So give him a shot. Sinblades with a y.com. No, Mark, I won definitively on that one. I told you during the chat tonight, when Joe goes to the gutter jokes, he is rattled, and I rattled him good last weekend, and I'll just leave it at that. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. You know you were rattled. I know you when you rattled. It's all really funny.
You're imagining things.
I was laughing my ass off. I was beat red. I was laughing so hard. It was so hilarious. I know you better than you think. It's okay. But it is the Lakers Fast Break. Join us on Saturday night for the post game with the Lakers in Portland. Will the Lakers' fortunes get better in Portland? Wasn't bad last time around. Nick Smith Jr., you better be playing this time. JJ, he did so well last time, but no Austin there. So unfortunately, that's not going to be there. But hopefully the Lakers will get a great performance from the crew, and we'll be able to report on it, bad or good, as we're always here for you. Bad or good, even when the chat is bad or good. Bronny, 20 points a game player. Oh my God. Bronny, 20 points a game. Oh my God. Can't believe that. And it's from a regular too. I was like, oh my God. I was so let down. Drug testing. Need some drug testing. That's all I'll say. But thanks so much again for joining us. We'll be back on Saturday night for you right here from your friends at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
Uh. Thanks, Tough. Take care, guys.